being recorded, so if you miss anything tonight, the presentation will be posted on our website, and we're going to send it out through Skyway back to you tomorrow too. Okay, so if you miss anything, you can always go back and rewatch it. So a couple of things before we get started. You should have received a yellow question card. So this is just for you to strictly jot down your questions as you go. There probably will be plenty, so feel free to turn it over to the back if you need to as well. We were planning on doing breakout sessions, but since we have a smaller crowd tonight, we're going to stay in here for that. And once we get ready for that part, we're going to give each of you a 4-year plan, and we'll kind of take you through how to start filling it out. Okay? All right, so we asked for you all to pull up your student schedule as well. We'll use that when we get to the actual 4-year plan part. So I want you guys to stay at 5, but there's a lot of information that we need to give you so that you have the most up-to-date information, so that when you go home with your student and you start creating your 4-year plan, you have the information needed. Okay? So just bear with me. All right, so the topics we're going to cover tonight are keywords and graduation requirements, endorsement information. We're going to talk about advanced academics, dual enrollment, career pathways, and just give you a brief overview of them. And we're going to get to the actual high school 4-year planning guide. There are some resources that you will need. So within this presentation are embedded links. So if you see the pink box up there that says resources needed, if you click on resources needed, you'll go to a Google folder that will have this information there. You'll have an additional 4-year plan sheet, course list, where you can actually see courses available for each grade level, and there's the link to the high school course guide so that you can get course descriptions of the courses that your student is thinking of taking. So immediately following this, we'll have a quick breakout session just to go through the actual 4-year plan. So here is my team, and we are here to help you. And thank you for allowing us on this journey through high school with your student. My name is Vincentia Wright. I'm the lead counselor here at Shadow Creek High School. Up on the screen, you see the other counselors here. Ms. Harris is the counselor for A through BE. Ms. Alexander is the counselor for, let me go in alphabetical order. Ms. Leal is the counselor for BH through EN. Mrs. Johnson is the counselor for EP through JON. Mrs. Alexander is JOR through NGU. Ms. Burns is NI through SIM. And Ms. Clay is SIN through Z. Please make note of your student's counselor. We also have some additional help here on campus. Our advanced academic specialist, is Vanessa McDonald. And our ACC dual enrollment advisor is Mrs. Demaria Boston. So if your student is thinking about taking any dual enrollment courses, she is the person you would need to speak with. I don't want to wait to the end for this because this is really important. We want to make sure that you guys are following us on Twitter and Facebook. We send out lots of information through these social media sites, and make sure that you have our website as a favorite. We often update our website with information, so please continue to utilize our counselor website. All right, so let's get started. Everybody got your pens, pencils, paper? Ready? Okay. So we're going to start out with some keywords first. We're going to start out, the first term is a credit. Students earn credits when a course is completed with a grade of 70 or above. Students earn 0.5 credits each semester. So at the end of the year, they earn a whole credit if they pass with a 70 or above for the fall semester, and they pass with a 70 or above for the spring semester. The transcript is the sheet of paper that records all of their classes taken for high school credit. So please remember back, some of your babies may have taken some courses for high school credit in junior high. Those courses will also be included on their high school transcript. And note, courses will go on the transcript whether a student passes or fails. So let's talk about how credits allow students to be classified. So we don't classify students based on age. Students are classified based on the number of credits that they earn. Students who have less than 6 credits are classified as freshmen. So let's say by some circumstance your student does not earn all 7 credits because they're taking 7 classes this year. So they should earn 7 credits. Let's say some unfortunate reason they don't. And your student earns 5.5 credits at the end of the year. Will your student be classified as a sophomore for the 22-23 school year? No. So we often get parents who are confused or concerned about that, and it's all about credits. So you want to make sure that your student earns 6 or more credits at the end of this school year in order to be classified as a sophomore. They need an additional 12 credits to be classified as a junior and 19 credits to be classified as a senior. So let's say for that unfortunate reason, your student does not earn the credit. There are ways to recover. So some ways to recover credit would be summer school, Edgenuity, which is a class that we have here on campus, credit recovery exams, and your student can take a credit recovery exam if they fail with a score of a 60 through 69. If they pass that credit recovery exam, they will earn a P on their transcript, and that P does not correlate with any GPA points. And there are dual enrollment courses that students can take as well in order to recover credit. One additional caveat is if a student fails one semester of a 2-semester course, so a whole year course, fails one semester but passes the next, then your student can average to pass and still earn that whole credit. So for example, if your student earns a 60 in the fall semester but earns an 80 in the spring semester, those 2 semester grades will average out and your student can still earn the whole credit. All right, so some additional keywords are grade point average. The grade point average, or GPA, is the overall average of all high school courses, with the exception of high school courses taken in junior high. So your student, your class, is the first class where the high school courses taken in junior high are not going to be calculated into the GPA, okay? So high school courses taken in junior high are not calculated into GPA, but they did earn a high school credit. So again, GPA is a standard way of measuring academic achievement. It includes all courses passed or failed, and each semester grade is included. So some additional words: elective courses, core courses, and college prep courses. Elective courses vary in content. They are courses that allow your students to learn about things that they're interested in or have the experience for possible career pathways that they may want to take. Your core courses are your typical English, math, science, social studies, and your foreign languages. And then your college prep courses are going to be your advanced placement, or AP, APA courses, which are formerly pre-AP, and dual enrollment. So when we talk about APA courses, those are the courses that are high school courses, but they're more rigorous and the teacher is going to go more in depth for certain concepts. When we're talking about advanced placement, we're talking about college level rigor for students to be able to earn college credit, barring that they take an exam at the end of the year. And then we have dual enrollment courses, which are college level courses that are given by Alvin Community College. So here's a little bit more information about the GPA. So in Alvin ISD, we are on a 6.0 weighted scale. Each semester grade earned is assigned to grade points depending on the level of the course. So let's look at an example here. Let's say, for example, your student earns a 95, okay? So if this is an AP course, then your student will earn 7.5 GPA points. If it's an APA course or dual enrollment course, then your student will earn 6.5 points for that 95. And if it's a regular on-level high school course, then your student will earn 5.5 GPA points for that 95. So you can come back to this graphic here, and it's also in our high school course guide as well. So remember, APA and AP and dual enrollment courses have higher grade points. So GPA, why are we even talking about that in this sense? And that's because GPA is what guides our class rank. So class rank is a way to see how your academic achievements are measured up with those of your classmates. The overall gist of this is for students to manage their time well and maintain good grades. That will overall help GPA, whereas if they're taking regular, on-level, APA or AP courses. We want your students to make sure that they are taking courses that they are interested in and that is the appropriate level for their success. So there's some new information about GPA that your students won't have to worry about until junior year, but this is still here to help guide that four-year planning process. So starting their junior year, your students will have the option to waive certain elective courses. That means that they won't factor into their GPA. That students will have to earn between a 90 to a 100 in order to allow this to happen over the whole year. But you definitely want to speak with your counselor first before thinking about waiving this GPA option, because sometimes it could help, sometimes it may not help as much. So there's definitely a need to speak with your counselor first to make sure that it's actually a benefit to your student. But again, this won't be eligible, your student won't be eligible until their junior year. And it has to be for a course that they will be taking their junior year. Okay. All right, so let's get down to it, graduation requirements. So there is a magic number that I need you all to remember. Okay, so this is going to require some participation. So I need everybody to repeat 26. Okay, one more time. The magic number is 26. So 26 is the magic number of credits that your student needs to graduate. 26. But those 26 credits come from certain areas. So your student needs 4 English credits, 4 math credits. Those math credits have to come from Algebra 1, Geometry, and then 2 additional math courses. They have to have 4 science credits, the first one being biology. Next year, so on your 4-year plan, you can already think about these, they have to pick between IPC, chemistry, or physics. And then 11th and 12th grade, they'll pick an additional science course. For social studies, there are only 3 social studies credits required. However, we do recommend that all students get 4. A lot of colleges still like to see that they have 4 social studies credits. But the 3 that they have to have are world geography or world history, U.S. history, which is taken junior year, and then government and economics, which are taken generally senior year. Students have to have 2 foreign language credits. It has to be from the same foreign language. 1 fine art credit, which could be choir, theater arts, floral design, regular art class. They have to have 1 PE credit and 7 elective credits, of which those electives need to encompass what's called an endorsement. So what's the magic number again? 26, all right. So let's talk about that endorsement. The endorsement sounds real fancy, but it's really just a way to allow your students to make sure that they are learning about topics that they're interested in or earning certifications that they would like in high school. An endorsement doesn't have to have anything to do with what they want to major in college. It is strictly what your student is interested in learning more about right now. So the endorsement consists of 4 to 5 cohesive elective courses in a specified pathway. They are visible on a student's transcript. It's an opportunity to explore careers and majors or just different areas prior to college. So if they think they want to be a physician, they can start learning more about that now to see if that's really what they want to do when they get to college. Some students may earn more than 1 endorsement, and again, the endorsement does not determine college acceptance. Colleges do not ask for students' endorsements. It is a Texas graduation requirement. So there are 5 areas for endorsements that students can earn: arts and humanities, business and industry, public services, STEM, and multidisciplinary. So within each of these endorsement areas, there are pathways of electives that students take in order to reach that endorsement. So again, 26, within those 7 elective credits, students take a pathway of electives to reach an endorsement. All right, so a couple of more graduation requirements here. We have our STAR or end of course exams. And there are 5 exams that your student must take and pass in order to graduate. So generally, the freshman year, students will take English 1, Algebra 1, and Biology. If your student took Algebra 1 in junior high and already took the STAR EOC, then they're done, okay? So generally, English 1, Algebra 1, Biology are the 3 freshman year. Sophomore year, students will take English 2, and then junior year, students will take U.S. history. So beginning with this school year, we have a new graduation requirement. The state of Texas is asking students when they are 12th grade to submit a financial aid application in order to graduate. In order to fulfill this graduation requirement, students can do 3 things. They can complete a FAFSA, they can complete a TAFSA, or they can do what's called an opt-out form so that they don't have to do either. But they have to do one of those 3. But again, you won't worry about that until senior year. Some additional recognitions that your students can receive upon graduation: if they complete the foundation plus endorsement plan and they have completed Algebra 2, they can earn what's called the Distinguished Level of Achievement, and this is mandatory if your student is eligible for the top 10% automatic admission in colleges, in public colleges in the state of Texas. Students can also earn what's called performance acknowledgements. These acknowledgements are generally placed on the transcript towards the end of the school year, right around after graduation, actually. But students can earn performance acknowledgements for earning 3s or higher on AP exams, for having 12 hours or more on dual enrollment courses, and for certain certifications that they earn. So here we get to advanced academics. So let's talk about what characteristics does an advanced academic student need. So they need to be interested in the subject. You want to make sure that your student is motivated and dedicated to do the rigorous work. They should be beyond proficient in reading and writing. They should have a resilient mindset. These courses are designed to be challenging. They need to be committed to doing homework outside of the regular school day, which will encompass reading and doing more research on their own. They need to be responsible to be able to multitask, prioritize activities, and make deadlines. And they should have some previous experience in an APA course. That's definitely going to help to prepare them when it's time to actually take an advanced placement course. So some things to remember when it's time for course selection. Students planning to take APA or AP classes for the 22-23 school year, they'll need a recommendation from their current teacher in that subject area. Your students will request this recommendation in the spring of next year, and your counselor will adjust your request in Skyward based on their recommendation. We're going to add the advanced class to your future schedule once we receive that recommendation. So let's say your student isn't recommended, but you really want your student to take an advanced placement course. Then you'll speak with our advanced academic specialist, Mrs. McDonald, just so she can go over the expectations and make sure your student tries to grow their skills or understands what they will need to do to make sure that they are successful in that course. So in addition to advanced academics, we have dual enrollment, which is given through Alvin Community College. Through the dual enrollment program, students take college courses to earn college credit and high school credit for the same course. So college classes are a part of your high school schedule on the high school campus. So we have Alvin Community College professors who come here generally to teach those classes. They may be taken at ACC after the high school day has ended. They may take them online, and they are also offered during summer school at a summer location. So if your student is interested in taking dual enrollment courses, please email Mrs. Boston. Her email is up here on the screen. And she will help guide you through the process and what courses your student is eligible to take. There are a couple of steps that your student will need to do. First, they need to take the TSIA, which we do offer here on campus during certain points during the school year. Otherwise, it is available at Alvin Community College as well. They'll need to submit an early admissions contract and then speak with Mrs. Boston to make sure they select the appropriate dual enrollment courses. All right, so again, when we talked about endorsements earlier, there are certain pathways within our career and technical campus that students can take to earn endorsements. And you can see on the right-hand side of the screen that there are several that they can earn certifications. JBH or JB Hensler is where our Career and Technical Center is. It's open to all students in Alvin ISD. Grades 10 through 12 for advanced level CTE courses are held at JBH. Your student must complete a JBH interest form in Skyward prior to enrolling into this course, and it will be available in the springtime during the course selection process. And if you have any questions, please see your counselor. And we're going to watch a quick video just so you can get the gist.
Grammar.
This class helps you have hands-on. We're opening our bistro for actual people to come, so we have servers and everything here as well. That actually gives you even more hands-on experience, because if you don't like the class, then you know that you don't have to waste the money at college taking the class to find out you don't like it, because instead you can take it in high school and see if you actually like it or not.
We work with the electricals, we have trainers set up, we have a whole package unit and a furnace that we have set up and running, learning how to solder, braze and stuff like that, knowing how to find leaks, run wire, run new copper, just everything that you would need to know if you're ever out on the field.
So last year we built a tiny home, and this year we're building like miniature homes. This is a little bit smaller. It feels good because you see like where everybody came together and what you still get and all you can do.
So long that we have there is everything that you can, imagine for the real world, and I think that it's really good practice so that we can practice like in the salon so that when we graduate with our cosmetology license, we already have a feel for how it actually goes in the salon setting. And we do a lot of outside things. I know we have 3 days of clinics, and so we get to see a lot of patients.
Pretty much all we do in there is we learn the basics, how to change your oil, tires, tire rotation, brakes. You get to learn kind of a little bit about transmissions and engines and how the electronics work together. So for me, if you go into the shop and you're just working on the cars, it's a stress reliever. You guys get to learn new things, you can meet new people, you guys teach each other what you know, and the teacher will just break it down even if you don't understand it. He'll keep breaking it down and going over it until you know what to do.
Yeah, we have a state-of-the-art facility here. We have a very good program, and we have all the supply that we need. We learn, we get certified, we're ready to go into the work world.
I have put this program on every single application, every single scholarship, and I know it looks super, super good because not everyone gets to take these classes and not everyone excels in them.
Hopefully we'll become a computer hardware engineer, designing computer parts, specifically graphics parts. I know I'm not going to get that position as soon as I start in the job field, so having this will put me somewhere lower, but they will know that I know what I'm doing with my certifications.
It's really nice because in our class we actually do get a lot of hands-on, and our teachers like really help us out a lot. Teach us how to do it right, proper techniques and everything.
It's incredibly impressive because having that t-shirt printer, engraver, vinyl cutter, everything really just adds a new dimension to the graphic design because we can actually see our designs in physical form.
Okay, so if you have any additional questions about JVH courses, please reach out to your student's counselor. Again,
Did you know that most college applicants get rejected because of poor?
There's automotive technology, barbering, certified medical assistant, certified nurse assistant, collision repair, construction, pharmacy tech, veterinary tech. So there are lots of programs that your students can earn certifications prior to leaving Shadow Creek High School. All right, so quickly, just to recap, a couple of things that we didn't get to talk about are SAT and ACT. So students have the opportunity to take SAT and ACT. There are some colleges right now who are still test optional, but we're not really sure how that's going to continue on in the future. But if your student is interested in doing that, Alvin ISD does provide opportunities each school year for students to practice in order to be prepared for the actual SAT their junior year. If your student is interested in doing that earlier, and they are welcome to do so, they will register through collegeboard.org for SAT and ACT. They will go through ACT.org. There is an informational video that they can click on here for more information. But just so you know, during their junior year, if your student qualifies for free or reduced lunch, then they are eligible to use a fee waiver to take the SAT or ACT, and they can come by the counseling office to get one. Students can take 2 free SAT and 2 free ACTs with that waiver. If they use their fee waiver and test, take the actual test, they can use it to apply to up to 4 colleges for free. So be sure to look up the fee waiver information in College Board or ACT if you are eligible. All right, so let's get down to it. We're going to talk about the 4-year planning process. So again, in the presentation, we've got links for the resources, the same ones that I showed you earlier. So the goal of a 4-year plan is to make sure that your student actually has a map, a roadmap to make sure they reach, what's that magic number? 26, that's all it is. It is not something that's solidified. It is just a map to make sure your student gets to those 26 credits. The 4-year plan is very fluid and it can change, but we want to make sure that we are talking to our counselor to make sure that we are making the correct changes and making sure that we meet those endorsements. So student-specific questions will be worked through during the one-on-one conference with your student. So starting November 15th, your counselors will be meeting with each 9th grade student, and parents will be invited to come virtually. So we're going to go through a couple of things first just to give you an overview of what it is, and then Mrs. Johnson is going to actually take you through completing the 4-year plan. So this is what the plan looks like that's getting passed out to you now. So on the 4-year plan, you'll put your student's name and ID. And if you aren't sure what endorsement your student is in or is taking right now, that's completely okay. That can be a part of the conversation. The goal is to get most of this plan filled out prior to your student's conference. So let's look up here on the screen. So this is an example of a student who is under the STEM endorsement. Okay, so this is an example of a student who is under the STEM endorsement. So for English, this student took regular English 1, 9th grade, is taking APA Algebra 1, 9th grade. is taking APA Biology, Regular World Geography, Technical Theater for their fine art credit. They're taking PE and Spanish 1. Okay? So that's what this student did. So in 10th grade, for their career plan, after speaking with their parents and discussing what their map should look like, this student has selected to take English 2, regular English 2. I'm assuming because he took regular English 1, 9th grade. He's continuing on with APA Geometry in 10th grade. He must be a really good math student. He's taking APA Chemistry, and he's going to take regular World History. He's going to complete his Spanish 2 requirement because he took Spanish 1 his freshman year. Now he's completing his second credit of his same foreign language. He's doing Intro to Engineering Design as the first principal course for his STEM pathway that he chose for the endorsement. And then Technical Theater 2. 11th grade, this student has selected regular English 3 because he's done that throughout. He's taking Algebra 2, APA, APA Physics, regular U.S. History. Now he's moving on to Civil Engineering, Engineering Science, and Technical Theater. So these 2 courses help fulfill that endorsement pathway. Senior year, taking English 4, so now he's got all 4 English credits. Taking APA Pre-Calculus, that's his 4th math. Taking AP Chemistry. Now he's going to take a semester of government, 1 semester of economics. He's doing his 4th engineering or STEM elective here with engineering design and development. He's going to take AP Physics for an elective and Technical Theater 4. So this student is going to receive more than 1 endorsement. Okay? So that's exactly what you're going to do with your student with the resources that we provide, and Ms. Johnson is going to go through actually going through your core courses with you in just a moment. So here's the timeline of what everything looks like. Before the conference, we want to make sure that you take this information home with your student, and at home, you guys complete the 4-year plan together. You want to fill it out as much as possible, okay? So you're going to have some conversations with your student about what they're interested in, what is the goal in high school. Do they want to earn certain certifications? Do they want to go to the J.B. Hensler building for some CTE courses? And your counselor, when you meet with them, will actually make sure that the 4-year plan is mapped out correctly. But we want to make sure that you all have it filled out as much as possible. So you will focus on 10th, 11th, and 12th grade for the 4-year plan. During the conference, we are meeting with every single 9th grader individually. So we have 20 minutes is our time frame for the conference. That's why it's pivotal that you all have most of it filled out, okay, and have had these conversations. The counselor and student will review the completed 4-year plan. Parents and guardians, you are welcome to join virtually. You will receive a Google Meet link if you sign up. Courses from the plan will be entered into Skyward. So again, make sure you're making the conscious decision about what courses your student especially wants to take in 10th grade, okay? So after the conference, your counselor will make adjustments to the plan based on any changes that need to be made. Your students will be able to make changes to the courses, probably not through Skyward, but we will have a change process in the spring for students to make changes. And there will be an additional opportunity to make changes in May when students receive verification. So again, it's not set in stone. They'll have additional opportunities, but we want to make sure we have most of the map completed prior to their conference. So this is how you will sign up. You'll sign up to attend virtually if you want to attend the conference with your student. If parents don't sign up, your student is still going to get pulled for that one-on-one conference. So if you're not available, it is totally fine. But again, you want to make sure that you have had that initial conversation so you and your students are on the same page with the courses that you want to pick. You will sign up with your counselor's youcanbookme.com link, and I'll show those to you in just a moment. Be sure your 4-year plans are filled out prior to the conference. After sign up, Parents and guardians will be sent a Google Meet link to attend virtually during the time frame that you signed up for. And all ninth graders are again going to have an individual conference with their counselor. So here, if you want to take a picture, make sure you are signing up with your counselor, okay? Make sure you're utilizing the Google link. We also have some posted on the walls in the auditorium as well. So for Ms. Harris is up at the top, Ms. Leal is the second one, Ms. Johnson is the third. Okay, and then Ms. Alexander's is up here now. Ms. Burns and Ms. Clay. And again, this presentation will be posted on our website so that if you aren't able to get to the link now, you will be once we post the presentation. Okay. All right, so thank you so much. Now we're going to go through, if you would like to stay, you're welcome to stay. If you feel that you've gotten enough information and you're ready to handle this on your own with your student, you're free to go. But now Mrs. Johnson is going to come and take us through the 4-year planning process.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Kimberly Johnson. I have a gold star for everybody that filled out the name portion. Students and students' first name, last name. I'm gonna blow it up because I wear glasses, so. How does that look, y'all? All right. So I'm just gonna put my name here. ID. Should be a 6-digit number. You can put today's date if you like. Is this one here? Thank you. Thought it was Christmas. Almost there. All right, when do y'all's babies graduate? Ooh, it's coming. All right, 2025. Everyone's sheet should look like that, okay? Make sure you put your baby's name at the top. This is their sheet, but you're going to work with it, okay? We want to make this less scary because every time we do this, parents get a little overwhelmed, but we want to make it as user-friendly as possible, okay? All right, so right here, you can select the endorsement. If you don't know the endorsement, that's okay, all right? Some kids are like, Mom, I'm under multidisciplinary studies. Okay, select that, all right? So select your endorsement here. Let me see it go. Let me select it. All right, this one will not. But just pretend you selected an endorsement right there. Everybody good? Everybody good? All right, I'm gonna move on. So we're gonna slide over to high school plan. Now, your job is to keep up with how many credits your baby has completed, okay? Some of you came in, like Mrs. Wright said, some of you came in with credit, like say your child's in geometry right now, they have an algebra credit, okay? So your job is to kind of keep up with these credits right here. Think or look up, okay, on your Skyward. What does my child have right now in the 9th grade? All right? So you're going to select that for English. So my child right now is in English 1, so I'm going to check mark that. We're in the 9th grade column, and what are they taking right now? Okay? My kid took Algebra 1 in middle school, they passed it, so now my child is in geometry. If your student is not in geometry right now, they are more than likely in Algebra 1. So, English, there should be a math written there right now. If you took Algebra 1 and Geometry in middle school, your child should be in Algebra 2, okay? If they are in like APA, you're just gonna add that to the end, like that. Can I move on? All right, science. Your kid is either in bio or bio APA. Make your selection. Social studies. There were 3 choices here. World Geo APA, AP Human. What is your student in? Make your selection. Now the electives, that is the fun part, okay? Your electives, right now, I know it says like fine arts there, it says PE, athletics, and it says elective. These are suggestions. Some of your students may not be in PE this year. They may have wanted to wait until next year. That's totally okay. So your job is to put what your child is in right now, okay? So my kid is in Art 1, so I'm going to put that there. My kid is also in like volleyball. And then my student is taking Principles of Health Science. There should be 7 courses, your 4 core and then your 3 electives. So did my kid take Spanish this year? Or French? No. So what do I need to possibly put in my schedule for next year? One of those, because that's a 2-year situation, okay? Some students or some parents and students were asking about dual credit. I want to get the dual degree. I want to get an associate's degree by the time I graduate high school or by the time my child graduates high school. You will need to speak with Ms. Boston, who's the ACC advisor, to work together with this form because there are some classes that the student needs to sit in along with the high school courses. Okay, so if you're interested in taking dual credit courses or getting the associate's degree, make sure you touch base with Ms. Boston along with your counselor. So we all 3 of us, 4 of us, however many people are involved, have to work together, okay? All right, so I'm gonna take this back out just to kind of show you how it looks. Now, my student took geometry for 9th grade, so I need to go down to this nice box to the right. And what do I need to select for junior high? Algebra 1, because my kid took Algebra 1 in junior high. If your student took Spanish 1 in junior high, select it. If your student took like Gateway, select it. If your student took Art 1, select it. If you're not sure, wait to ask the student, okay? Wait to ask the kid. All right, it's about to get good because I'm about to let you go free, all right? I trust y'all, Okay, English, we're just gonna do straight across, okay? The top row. I want everyone from 10th to 12th. Just a plan, no commitment, okay, just a plan. Check what your student may take next year for English. Check what your student may take for 11th grade in English. Check what your student may take for 12th grade in English. All right, your turn. I'm going to do it up here, and you guys can do it down there. Now, this is your journey. This is my journey. So, you guys are going to do some work, okay?
We can do it in pencil if you want.
Yes.
Do it in pencil.
I got commitment issues. All right, just talking through my process. My student, ooh, they don't really like English, so I'm not going to push them like that. So I'm going to put English 2, English 3, and English 4. And remember, all of this could change. Take the check out, put the check somewhere else. Take that check out, put it somewhere else, okay? So this is all changing. So if you got commitment issues like me, don't worry. We're going to go over this every year. put a check? This is literally how we work with our students because it's easy. They're like, oh, that wasn't so hard, that was cool. All right, 10th grade math. Here's how it normally goes. Algebra 1, geometry. Algebra 2, and then they choose a fourth math like pre-cal or statistics or advanced quantitative reasoning. So my student took geometry, so if you want to just watch how I do this, you're more than welcome. Then you'll say, okay, I see what she's doing there. So I'm going to put algebra 2. So technically, this is my kid's third math because they took algebra 1 already. You need 4 to graduate from the state of Texas. So math over in the 11th grade year. They're probably kind of scared of pre-cal, so maybe I'll do advanced quantitative reasoning. My student wants a break, but I don't believe in breaks. So I'm going to put statistics or something. All right. Now, if you're not sure, you could just put this. Okay? You're not sure. Because by the time they're in 12th grade, they're like, yeah, I did all my math. Okay? So, you can do that. If you're not sure, your last math, you can always put just math question mark and let them decide later. Okay? How y'all doing? Y'all doing good? All right. If you got your math, raise your hand. Go star, go star. All right, 10th grade. Science, okay, science. Now, Ms. Wright told us we have 3 choices. We have chemistry, IPC, and physics. Now, chemistry, if you're in STEM, chemistry is not negotiable. You need to take chemistry if you're in STEM, okay? If your student kind of struggles with science, IPC, which is integrated physics and chemistry, might be a good choice, okay? It's not quite chemistry and it's not quite physics. It's kind of like the surface level of both, but they're still getting that credit, all right? And then physics is, help us, okay? No, physics is kind of math, and a lot of math mixed with science, okay? So force and lots of calculations. If your student is STEM, they have to have physics at some point, okay? So they have to have bio, chem, and physics. That trio has to show up. That trio has to show up on the transcript, okay? So I believe in my kid, right? Maybe, I don't know. So let's go with chemistry. If we get to the end of bio, we can kind of tell, right? Like what we're going to do next. Science, these are where your student can really do what they want to do, okay? So after they've taken bio and chemistry or bio and IPC or bio and physics, they can choose different sciences. We have an entire list of sciences. Now, if your student is not sure, if you're like, well, I don't have that list with me, just write in science 3, science 4. That's your cue to say, hey, we need to probably look at some sciences, okay? So sciences, we have AP Bio, AP Chemistry, AP Physics. We have forensic science, anatomy and physiology, astronomy, environmental systems, AP Environmental Science. So we have a bunch of different sciences. If you are in STEM, what needs to go here? Ooh, gold star. Physics, okay? Remember the trio for STEM people. Bio, chem, physics, that needs to show up, okay? All right. Not so scary, right? Not crazy. I'm not sure what my student would do for science, so I put science 3 and 4. And again, we can change our mind, okay? This is a workable sheet. History. All right, so you get to choose. We have some choices here. World history. World history. So you make a choice there. We do have AP European history that's offered as well. We can always write that in. So that's a choice for 10th grade as well. So make a choice there. Make a choice over here. You have 3, U.S. history, AP U.S. history, and dual enrollment. The pre-AP is gone once we get to 11th and 12th grade for English and history, okay? The pre-AP disappears. You have your U.S. history, AP, and dual enrollment. If dual enrollment is something you're thinking about, you can check that box, put yourself a little note saying, hey, let's talk this over, let's think about it. Your history for senior year, there's semesters. You can't just check government and be like, all right, I'm good. It's government and economics. You have to have both. One's going to be in the fall, the other one's in the spring. So you're going to click, check or put a check mark on 2 areas, okay? So you need government and economics. It's your choice as to how that goes. Again, no pre-AP, on level, AP, dual enrollment. All right, y'all are doing pretty well. So this is how it looks. This is what we're going to do with your student sitting there. And they may be a little nervous because this is, where they're making decisions. Hopefully you guys will be on virtual chat, kind of, coaching them through, trying to get them to make some decisions. We do want them to drive the train so that they can feel comfortable and confident in taking their courses, okay? Now your electives here, this is where your endorsement will come into play. The example that you saw earlier that Mrs. Wright showed you was in engineering, STEM engineering. So if this student, if I see principles of health science and that student's like, yes, I want to keep going, then my electives will be either the next is health science theory, and then maybe if they want to be a certified nurse assistant, certified medical assistant, they want to get that certification, I would start adding that into my electives. When you are doing this part, you will need the course guide that is on Alvin ISD. The course guide has every single class that the district offers, okay? And you will need to follow whatever your endorsement is. If you are not sure, okay, we will help you through this part. So don't get overwhelmed by this situation here. Now I know for sure I need to put Spanish 1 and I need to put Spanish 2 because that's a part of the graduating requirements, okay? So that has to be in there no matter what. If my student wants to keep playing volleyball, just know that you need to put that in there. And every time we put something in there, it takes away a spot. Okay, so now I just have one spot to work with over the next, in 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. So the planning is very important. Talking through what you want your student to do or what the student wants to do is going to be very important. Okay?
Thank you, Mrs. Johnson. So if you guys have any questions, remember you have your course, your yellow card here. You can fill that out too. But before we let you go, I wanted to remind you of a couple of resources that you have available to you to help you. So in the presentation and on our website, so I'm going to take you to our website so you'll see exactly where to go. So I'm going to go to the Shadow Creek High School homepage. Under Our School, I'm going to click Counselors. And then you can scroll down to where it says freshman. So right here, you've got your 4-year plan resources. So if you click that link, you've got the 10th grade course list, 11th grade course list, and 12th grade course list. You can download another 4-year plan here as well, and this presentation is here as well. If you would like to see the course guide that Mrs. Johnson was just speaking about, that's on our home page. If you scroll down over here to the left-hand side, you'll see 21-22 high school course guide here. And just as she was saying, if you look at the course list and you're like, what's advanced quantitative reasoning? You'll go here to the bottom tab, click on course description, and you can do Control F and type in what you'd like to see. And there's a course description for you. So you and your student can have the conversations necessary so that they pick the courses that they are going to be successful in throughout high school. So again, those resources are available to you. And with that, we're going to let you go. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. We'll all be hanging out here for a little while if you have any quick questions. Otherwise, please try to speak with your student as soon as possible. Sign up for your conference if you plan to attend with your student virtually. And make sure that the 4-year plan is completed as much as possible so that when we sit down and have these conversations, everybody's prepared. Thank you all so much for coming out. Good night.